TaylorMade have absolutely nailed it with this driver. Well, almost. In 2022, TaylorMade released one of the most interesting drivers in years with the original Stealth. And the Stealth 2 drivers do continue with that trend, but there is just more and more and more carbon. So no matter if you think using a carbon face is a gimmick or not, completely changing the face structure of a driver when everyone else is doing something different, it is pretty cool. I did like last year's Stealth, but after that initial excitement, it felt like it just fell a little bit flat. But I really, really like the Stealth 2. Now stay tuned for the data, but let me explain why. Now there have been a few carbon-based drivers released before, but TaylorMade have actually made one which is usable and which performs really well. But the first Stealth, it didn't really set my world alight. But the Stealth 2 has addressed most of my concerns. Oh, baby. TaylorMade have changed the face slightly, so they've reduced the weight, making the center thicker and the edges a little bit thinner. And this gives a little bit more forgiveness. The amount of carbon in these club heads is pretty intense. Oh, it's doing the job though. Look at that. So the Stealth 2 Plus has 75% more carbon than the original Stealth Plus. The Stealth 2 has almost double, and the HD is exactly the same story. The HD, by the way, is the driver for golfers who might be struggling more with a slice. Now, TaylorMade say there are composite materials in here, so carbon blended with something else, but basically, the only bits of true titanium in here is a bit at the front frame, which holds the face in place, and then the weights. Those are the only true bits of metal. Everything else has carbon in it in some shape or another. So for TaylorMade, I think that's it. I think they're officially declaring metal dead.
Metal will never die.
It's just gone. Metal is pointless, mate. Just pointless. But what this means is that TaylorMade, stripping all that weight away, have added more weight to the weights. And wait for it, I'll explain more. The Stealth 2 Plus has a 15-gram weight at the back, and then the slider rail just behind the face, that's also 15 grams. The Stealth 2 back weight is 25 grams. That is a massive amount of weight to stick at the back of the driver. And this is going to help with launch and forgiveness. And it's also got a screw weight here, which is moved a little bit more towards the heel. What this will allow the club to do is turn around this axis, so closing the club face and probably helping people who slice the ball. I am happy to say that all of this actually makes the Stealth 2 feel so much better. Now the sound of this driver, it is solid. I'm probably in the minority who would have liked TaylorMade to make a driver that doesn't sound like anything else, something that sounds like otherworldly. Yeah, look at that little cut. It just feels so much more responsive. That's the best word that I can use to describe it when comparing it to the original Stealth. It does have still a slight issue for me where it feels like it slips off the face a little bit, especially onto the right-hand side. It kind of just wanders out to the right-hand side, and this is something that I've noticed with other twist face drivers in the past. Now the price of these drivers is pretty pokey, especially having considered how much that TaylorMade wanted people to fork out for the original Stealth. So the Stealth 2 Plus, that is going to be coming in at $529 recommended retail. Now that could obviously go down once it hits the shops. The standard model of the Stealth 2 and the Stealth 2 HD, that is going to be coming in at £499. And this is one of the perceived problems with TaylorMade drivers, certainly that customers have over the last decade. I actually think that a lot of other manufacturers do this as well, but when TaylorMade release a new driver, the old driver depreciates in value relatively quickly. But I can't deny, after hitting these drivers and the original Stealth, that I like the Stealth 2 more. I think it is a better driver. Oh yeah. There's also something else that I can't deny, is that I would absolutely love you to subscribe to the channel. It would make me a very happy man. So data-wise, these drivers are very good, and they keep up with those dinosaurs of titanium drivers. One thing I've noticed this year is that a lot of the drivers I've been testing, the low spin model and the standard model, differentiating between the spin rates has actually been quite difficult. I'm pleased to say that in these stealth drivers, there is a definite difference between the low spin version and the standard version. So I'll show the divergence here. You can see that the standard Stealth 2 is spinning more than the low spin model. So let's have a look at some key points of the data here. So carry distance with the Stealth 2 Plus, 304 with a total distance of 326. This puts it right up there in distance-wise with some of the drivers that I've been tested this year. Just under 300 yards carry with the standard Stealth, and then 322 in total. Now that is generally because of that higher spin rate. It's just not flying quite as far, and then it's just stopping a little bit quicker. The ball speed's actually pretty consistent, but what really got to me, what really surprised me, is that the standard Stealth model, from across the face, the ball speeds were really good. And that feel, again, it just felt so much better. It's a hard thing to explain and to quantify. So during Tech Month, we have been reviewing all the latest releases from the biggest driver brand. And here is a table showing the results so far. And you can see that the Stealth 2 really does stack up, as well as the Stealth 2 Plus. All the driver tests this year, I'm doing it with the Fujikura Venta shafts, and all the head loss are in 8 degrees unless specified. So there is a difference in ball speed between the Stealth and the Stealth 2 Plus. However, overall distance, the Stealth 2 Plus was winning because it had a slightly lower spin and a slightly higher launch. That just allowed it to run out a little bit more once it landed. As you can see, the winner so far in overall distance is the Paradigm from Callaway. Now, I am going to be doing a build my bag video where I'm going to be putting these drivers all head to head to see which one is going to be going in my bag. Now, in that video, I'm going to be changing these drivers to their optimum settings for my game. So expect to see faster swing speeds and more bombing drives. Fingers crossed, I hope. It could be terrible, but I hope they're going to be good. So I think most golfers are going to be plumping for the standard Stealth and the HD rather than the Plus. They just offer that little bit more help. The best way for me to sum this driver up is that I really wish TaylorMade would have released this driver last year, because I think it combines everything that was promised and puts it in a package which just feels much, much better. But as always, what is most important is what you guys think. So get down into those comments below and let me know. Also, we've been doing so many reviews this Tech Month. If you want to check out the playlist, please do here. And also check out the Paradigm driver review. That and the TaylorMade, they're probably the most interesting uses of carbon that we've seen this year so far. Guys, just to let you know that the Rough Cut Golf Podcast is back. Head down into the description below and check out the links for our weekly takes on everything to do with golf.